What's up, guys? It is me, EB. I'm coming to you live with the weekly motivational wrap up. Just a quick announcement though. My weeks have been absolutely crazy. So I haven't been able to post the videos on Thursday like I like. So I'm gonna start posting them on Friday mornings. Actually Friday afternoon. I try to get it posted up on YouTube by 12:30. And I'll make sure I send out the link and everybody can come check it out. But here we are. We're gonna jump right into it. Holding the number one spot, Lindsay Pollock. It's about time we stop shaming millennials. I don't know about you guys listening, but I fall into that category of millennial. The only thing we have in common is that we are kind of young-ish. Like, I believe it goes from the age 18 or 19 to age 35. So if you're in that age ring, then you're probably a millennial. But she spoke on the negative stereotypes, we're a lazy generation, the me, and the biggest thing was the participation trophies. She harped on that a little while. But she did bring it all together. She spoke on 3 areas of support, aka trophies. Number 1 was development and coaching, that we like personal development. We like to grow. We enjoy it, and we crave getting better. And what else she said? She said we need more feedback and less annual reviews. And that's actually a book that I've read in the past, was getting rid of those annual reviews, because it's not an actual gauge. I personally would rather have someone come to me every 2 weeks, say, hey, how's everything going? You're improving in this place. Here, you got some opportunities right here, opposed to waiting an entire year and then trying to fix the pieces for the next year, but you fall short of something else. So that was a nice point. She also said flexibility. We like to be flexible, and that's common. She did say no one ever said, wish I spent more time at work on her deathbed. So that kind of hit home. Is like, when it's all said and done and you're ready to go meet whoever it is that you're planning to meet, no one's ever like, oh yeah, I should have probably spent more time at work. We want to spend more time with our families, with our friends, socializing, and just, being ourselves. So that's understandable as well. Third thing was transparency and purpose. We are willing to do anything. We just want to know why. And honestly, I don't see where that's wrong. I will, and I've always preached this for the longest time, is that if you're leading a team, if you're leading a business, if you're leading any position where you are leading, if you get the people that are following you to understand why, they will do it with no problem. Like, I just want to know why. Why do we have to do it like this? Why are we doing it like that? And we're past that era of do it because I said so. Like, that doesn't really work well with us anymore. We just want to know why, because what is our purpose? I don't think there's anything wrong with wanting to know your purpose, right? Realize things that work in your generation, meaning, like, this is talking to like the older generations, doesn't work now, and that's change. That's just what change. And our focus is a little different now. Our drive is different, and our thought processes are all different than past generations. So that was a really good listen on that TED Talk. And my takeaway from that one was that the destination has not changed. The means to get there have. Change is inevitable. We must learn to grow accustomed so we can grow. We have to figure out how we want to. We know where we're going, right? And if you ask any generation, the majority of people say they want to be happy, they want to be successful. So those core principles are still there, but just the means to get there have changed. So I thought that was a good one. Number 2 is Kevin O'Rourke. How to make millennials want to work for you. If you can't tell, I was on a millennial kick for a couple of for like a day. I listened. The first 3 is feeling stuck. The first 3 is first 3 is about millennials. So, but this one is how to make millennials want to work for you. It's basically the same foundation as Lindsay's, so I'm not going to deep dive. But one thing that did stand out to me is that he said that someone actually told him that millennials want to open their own businesses because they don't want to work hard. And that like stuck with me because running your own business is not easy. Like, I don't know who said that or if anybody even really said that to him. But I just don't get it because it's not easy. It's not easy at all. A nonprofit, for profit. If you're putting pieces together to make a movement in this world, it's not going to be easy. So I don't know where that comment came from, but we just shake that off. 2 things millennials value in the workplace: micromanaging versus autonomy. And 4 areas of autonomy we care about is what we do, when we do it, how we do it, and whom we do it with. Basically, why. In a nutshell. The second one is money versus meaning. Again, back to the purpose. Of course, money is really, it's a necessity. You need money. We have to live. We have to pay bills. We have to eat. You have to be an adult. But what we're running into is a generation that cares more about the impact that they will have on the company or on society or both over the amount of money being paid. You can't just you can't just, hey, here's a bunch of money, here, do this, all this against your values and against your morals. That doesn't happen. I'm sure it does, but this isn't, not as much as it used to. Takeaways is news to me that running your company was easy. That blew me away. Number 3, Kelly Williams Brown. And guys, this is the last millennial one, so I'm sorry, but it was interesting. Hers was why we are the worst. Millennial talk again. Same with Kevin and Lindsay, and I think I said Kevin. I meant to say Kevin. Keevin. Only thing all millennials have in common is that we're young-ish, and I may or may not have said that earlier, but that's basically what we all have in common. We are so different. Our wants, our needs, our desires are also different. So you can't stamp us with all or nothing, because it does not work that way. And that's with all generations. Well, yeah, all generations. Nobody was absolutely the same. But she did touch on the E word, which was entitlement. Oh, I participated, so I should get a trophy type stuff. Hogwash. She touched on some major studies that explain why we're so bad. But what she brought to my attention is that, and that I never really noticed or paid attention to, was that a lot of the popular studies, and I didn't write the studies down and I should have, but a lot of the studies will ask, the age ranges are between 18 and 50 years old. So a lot of them would ask like 22-year-olds what they expect out of work, and 50-year-olds what they expect out of work. And I don't know about you guys, but when I was 22 years old, I expected something totally different than what I expect today. Totally different. So those, how valid, or how valid are those studies? Because, you're different. You change. You grow. if they did it in a closer range, like say you still want to do it at 50, cool, but then you want to do it at like at the cutoff at 35. That way you've gone through life. Hopefully you've developed into the person that you either want to be or really really close to getting there. Then it would weigh out more. But when I was 22, this fight the flight was not even on my radar. I didn't know what motivational speaking was. I knew swipe the time card, go to work my 9 hours, swipe the time card, go home, party, and have a good time. Then just a cycle of that. Like there was really no life in between there. So it's just, like I said, I'll be 30 in 4 months. So my mindset has definitely matured and changed since then. So she also said she touched on turning away from the system. Explained it as we value the things we can control. Control. I said like 5 times, didn't I? She explained it as to we value the things that we can control, like being a great parent, being a great mother or husband, father, being a great wife, a pillar in the community, actually doing something that's meaningful and brings pleasure, like pure joy, not even pleasure, just pure joy and happiness, opposed to going with the same flow. We find our own flow, and it's actually flowing pretty nicely. I found my flow. So then, and the takeaways from that one was think about the sources of information we are receiving. Ask yourself, am I the same person? Am I the same person now that I was when I was 18? So that's an easy way to put it. Number 4, Bob Davis. The worst commodity is leadership without ego. His talk was really, really good. If you have, I honestly try to keep my TED Talks to about between 10 and maybe 20 minutes. If I'm going on a walk, I might hike it up to like 25. But recently it's been between 10 and 15, 20 minutes. So I know you can find 10, 15, 20 minutes a day just to listen to something, just to change your mind. Like I said, you feed your mind, like I've been saying. If you change what you're putting in your brain, your life can change as well. But let's jump right into Bob Davis. Explain the world has too many managers and not enough leaders. Management is control. You control the quality, time, and money. And when you focus on one, the other two will suffer. Leadership is influence. If you push people, the outcome is uncertain, but if you pull them, they will follow. And that takeaway was basically, too often do people find themselves keeping the power for themselves instead of taking that power and redirecting it back into the people you're leading. Obviously, being a leader, you have power, you have status. But when you keep that power to yourself, you become jaded instead of, and the people that were following you or that are following you begin to resent you. So if you change your way of thinking and redirect that power back into your people and give them the power to be creative or to be themselves, the return is 10 times. It's always going to be something positive. Number 5, Bosco Anthony, feeling stuck, fueling life from average to epic. 2 biggest game changers are purpose and momentum. He quoted Mark Twain. The 2 most important days of your life is when you were born and when you figure out why. That is not verbatim, so if I butchered that, I don't think I did, but if I did, I apologize. But that is one of my favorite quotes because I love the why. Like, when you understand your purpose, your why, life gets so much better. You know which way you need to go and direction you need to go in and stuff like that. But He said he would add a third day is when you align your purpose with your momentum. You can't have one without the other. Well, you could, but if you don't know where you're going, but you're going to just go on forever. But if you know where you're going and you don't have the drive, the momentum to get there, then you'll be stuck and you're spinning your wheels. But he touched on 5 real-life applications to fueling your purpose. Go back to your number 1 is going back to your origin story. Where did you discover your positivity? What time or who was it that you were with that, that tag. Who were you with that made that you made up like your mind say, hey, this is what I want to do. Number 2, mapping your vision. What is your end goal? Number 3, making a contract with yourself, self-accountability, and teaching people how to treat you. Because if you don't know how to treat you, you can't teach anyone else how to treat you. And people must treat you with respect at all the time, always. Number 4, bringing rhythm to your why. How are you going to attain your purpose? Meaning, how are you going to get there? Like, what steps are you going to take? What moves are you going to make to get from here to there? Okay. Number 5, introspect. Ask yourself 2 questions. What have I done of meaning today? And what are you going to do? What have you done of meaning today? And what are you going to do differently tomorrow? He also, at the end, I have the window open. Somebody's out there skirting. But 3 challenges. Embrace your inner hero. Don't be too hard on yourself. And celebrate your accomplishments. Number 2 was empower your purpose. Give yourself permission to fly. And his challenges are, embrace your hero. The last part is just me summarizing what I felt like he was saying. So, empower your purpose was give yourself permission to fly. And engage the future. Share your experiences and your knowledge with the youth. The one thing he did say was leave things better than you found them. And I thought that that hit home. So if you have a chance, check out Bosco Anthony. Takeaway was know that purpose and momentum go hand in hand. A car does not move without fuel. Be kind to yourself and share your knowledge. Okay? 6, Reggie Rivers. If you want to achieve your goals, don't focus on them. I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. I passed this video for 2 weeks because what do you mean if I want to achieve my goals, don't focus on them? That did not make sense to me. A couple days ago, I said, you know what? Let me just see what he's talking about. Man. It's a short video. It's probably like 8 minutes long, but he basically broke it down to goal achieving. He broke goal achieving down to a simpler form. It's just focusing on the steps you need to get to your goal, aka what you can control. Basically, if you focus on your goal, you're so focused on that end result that maybe you get off track, or maybe you don't really know where you're going, or don't understand why you're going that way. But if you focus on the things you can control, the little steps to get to where you're going, it makes all the difference. It was a good talk. He also said to set goals, of course, but set goals for today, tomorrow, and this week. And I thought that was really interesting because when I did chips, aka I fixed windshields at gas stations, that was a long time ago. But that we set goals just like that, today, tomorrow, and this week's goals. And actually, I learned a lot about myself and started to understand my purpose with that job. But my takeaways from Reggie Rivers was instead of devoting your time to a goal, devote your time to the process you need to get there. The goal is the end. What is your means of the goal is the end. What is your means of transportation? How are we going to get there? Number 7, Jim Carhart. How to believe in yourself. If you want to produce good acorns, think like an oak, not an acorn. His talk was really, really simple, but he had a lot of powerful punchlines. If you want to use punchlines, I kind of want to use punchlines. In a nutshell, you need to think like the person you want to be. So discover who you are and who you want to be. If you want to be a motivational speaker, get out there, get your face known, start doing things to make people see you, notice you, start making connections, so you can see how they got to where they got to where they are. And if you build that relationship, they can maybe give you insight to how they're going to get to where they're going. So I just noticed something in this video, that I talk fast. I'm thinking of things in my brain too fast. My brain is going way too fast for what I have on the paper. All I have to do is read the paper, and I'm just all over the place. So I promise this will be a better wrap up next week. But my takeaway from Jim was, to believe in yourself, you must first learn who it is you are and who it is you want to be. Connect with those people who inspire you, and build those relationships. Make connections, networking. It's simple, but it's really hard, especially when you might be shy, or maybe you don't know exactly what it is that you want to do. I didn't know for a long time, but here I am making videos and posting them on YouTube. And then one day somebody's going to be like, hey, I know that person. Then boom, TED Talks. It's your girl, Erin Brown, and I'm wrapping it up with the weekly motivational wrap up. I hope you guys have a great rest of your week, and I will catch you guys on the other side next week. Maybe. If my mouse wants to work. There we go. Bye.